She leaned forward and said, "With everything women deal with every day, I honestly think it's worse than what soldiers went through." The table went quiet, forks halfway to mouth, like someone had pulled the power on the room. I remember blinking, slow, because my brain always needs a second when something hits wrong. My name's Robert Bobby Collins. I'm 74, Vietnam, 1969 to 1970. That night, I was just another old man at a community discussion group, hands wrapped around bad coffee, listening to a young woman named Emily. She wasn't cruel. She was passionate. She talked about fear, about walking alone at night, about being dismissed and underestimated. I nodded because none of that was fake. Then she looked at me and said gently, "You survived. You came home. A lot of us never really get to." Her words slid me sideways in time. I smelled wet jungle rot and diesel, heard choppers chopping the sky open near Da Nang. I saw Jimmy Reardon from Ohio drop without a sound outside Quang Tri, his helmet rolling into the mud like it was trying to get away. I remembered the silence after firefights. No birds, no bugs, just your own breathing, loud and wrong. I wanted to tell her about the night I held a dying kid who kept calling for his mother, or how I came home in March of 1970 and my dad shook my hand instead of hugging me. I walked into my house and there were strangers sitting on my couch, flipping through papers like they belonged there. Cardboard boxes lined the hallway. A woman smiled at me and said, "Oh, are you the brother?" The air smelled like packing tape and coffee I didn't make. My keys were still warm in my hand. I remember turning and seeing my parents by the kitchen island. Mark stood stiff. Susan wouldn't meet my eyes. They looked relieved. Growing up, birthdays told you everything. Ethan blew out candles to applause. I got a handshake and, "You're so mature, Daniel." When I was 16, I worked nights stocking shelves. My paycheck helped cover groceries. Ethan wrecked his second car and got a hug. When bills were late, my name got called. When Ethan partied through weekends and burned money, it was, "He's just finding himself." I learned early that silence was cheaper than arguments. That house took me years. Extra shifts, no vacations, cheap furniture. It was modest, but it was mine. My name on the deed, my quiet. Ethan's debt hit 30 grand. Credit cards, trips, bets he lost. I didn't know the number then. I just know my parents knew. The realtor cleared her throat and asked if I needed a minute. Susan finally spoke, soft as